Please fetch your team members back into the group. We deeply regret the network lag. We have sorted the things. Things have fallen into place and we'll resume in 2 minutes. By the time, please get your friends back into the meet. So now I am officially beginning the program once again. A warm good afternoon to everyone present in this online session. On behalf of Science Club of St. Montfort School, Bhopal, I, Dr. Sonia Sujesh, would like to welcome you all to the first online Science Symposium, session 2021-22. We could not conduct it last year for obvious reasons, but now we are together in this virtual meet. Let me share a fact with you all that the level of enthusiasm shown by our kids for this online meet was no less than any of the events conducted in the school premises before the pandemic. So let's keep our spirits high and begin the session with a prayer. I request you all to try and connect your souls with the Almighty God as I say the following prayer. Eternal God, Creator of all, I firmly believe that I am now in thy presence. I adore thy divine majesty, and I ask of thee to enlighten my mind that I may know thee more clearly, and to move my heart that I may love thee above all things, and my neighbors for thy sake. Help me that I may never in my thoughts, words, or deeds offend thee and thy law. I seek your blessings to do justice the work assigned to me today. Amen. Dear all, the purpose of today's event is exactly reflected in the following quote by Albert Einstein. To raise new questions and possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle requires creative imagination and marks real advance in science. Indeed, that is the essence of the day. It's a matter of immense pleasure to welcome our esteemed dignitaries. Reverend Brother Monachan, Principal St. Montfort School, Bhopal. Brother, your presence is ever so inspiring, with an influx of ideas whenever you are amidst us. We learn something new from you every single day. We are overwhelmed by your presence in this session. Thank you, brother, for being with us. I take this opportunity to welcome Reverend Brother Binu Cherian, Vice Principal, St. Montfort School, Bhopal. Brother, your presence has spread positivity and we are experiencing a new zeal. Thank you for the blessing of your presence. A wholehearted welcome to the coordinators, Sister Janie, Coordinator Middle Wing, Sister Angel, Coordinator of Primary Wing, Jyoti Ma'am, Coordinator of Senior Wing. Your enthusiastic presence is highly appreciated by the Science Club members. I now welcome the judges of the event. Mrs. Binny Matthew, who would be judging the presentations of Class 10th, Miss Nikita Dubey, who would be assessing the presentations of Class 9th. I also welcome my colleagues who are here to cheer the students and boost their morale. Dear teachers who are present in the session, please bless our kids so that they put up a good show. Dear participants, dear participants, I wish you all the best. And in case there is a technical issue or a network lag, do not panic. Things can be sorted. Here you can see the judges of the event, Mrs. Binny Matthew and Miss Nikita Dubey. For 9th class, it's Nikita Dubey ma'am, and for 10th class, it's Binny Matthew ma'am. Next slide, please. As you can see, the topics for 9th, we had a long session deciding upon the topic, and the topic for 9th is Earth Beyond Life Possibilities in the Universe. And for 10th, the topic is Artificial Intelligence. The rules for the event. Next slide. I request all to mute themselves. The rules and regulations for class 9. I request Gargi ma'am to display. I'll read out for all of us. Duration of presentation is 5 minutes. It would be followed by a short interactive session. And you all are well aware that the total number of slides is 1 plus 8. Slide number 1 should have the following details in it. That is your full name, along with the other participants' full name, class and section, the topic, and of course, the next 8 slides would have the content, whatever topic is allotted to you. And here you can see the parameters of evaluation. We are assessing you all on the basis of these criteria: the quality of PPT and overall presentation, in which we'd be looking for confidence in you and the spontaneity that you exhibit. And of course, the second point is concept clarity. Third is relevance of the allotted topic. So these are the areas where we would be judging you. I wish everyone all the best, and I hand over this session in the hands of Anshu ma'am for further conduction. Welcome, Anshu ma'am.
Thank you, Sonia ma'am. I think I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon to everyone present. Science is a way of life. Science, science is the process that takes us from confusion to understanding in a manner. With that quote, I wish you all best of luck, and we will start with the event from the students of class 19. I will now invite Kush Amol from to start the presentation.
Just a second, students. Before we start with the presentation for the first student, some important instructions to everyone. Please wait for my cue once, because I'll need some time to set up your presentation here. Okay, so just wait for my verbal cues, and then I'll guide you throughout the process as and when we go on with this presentation. Okay, so I'm just give me some moment so that I could get the presentations of 9th A ready. So I think you all are already aware that you have to first introduce yourself as well as the topic of discussion in this science symposium. So first you have to start with introducing your team members and the topic, and then you'll have to wait for me to change your slide. I'll change the slide, and then you will not start speaking until and unless the timer starts. Okay, so please keep these things in mind. So first, I would like to invite team from 9th A to start with introducing yourself and the team members as well as your topic.
Good morning, respected judges, teachers, and all my dear friends. My name is Khush. Today, me and my group members Ojaswini Mahajan and Athav Singh from class 9th A are going to discuss about the life possibilities in the universe. Now, my group member Ojaswini Mahajan will give a brief explanation to this topic. Ma'am, next slide, please.
Yes. Just a second. Please don't start speaking until and unless I start with the timer. So here your time starts in 5 seconds. So just wait for the three beep sounds over here. You can start.
And teachers. As we know, food, water, air, and the ozone are the basic needs for human to survive. If any one of these basic needs is not made, then human cannot survive. Let us see if other planets in our solar system can fulfill these basic needs. Change the slide, ma'am. Venus. Venus is the second planet in our solar system, with 108.65 million kilometers away from the Sun. This planet must be in the habitable zone of the star, then the temperature of the atmospheric pressure on the planet's surface will be suitable for the simple life forms to begin and to evolve. But due to the high temperature, the water will evaporate, leaving no chance for the oceans and seas to form. It has similar size and mass to the Earth, but it's too close to the Sun and no life can exist on its surface. Far from the Sun, then the planet becomes too cold and the water can only exist in the form of ice on the surface, and there just might be a liquid water deep below. Kepler is one of the examples of this. In addition, the planet must be solid and have an atmosphere that protects it from solar radiations and allow living organisms to breathe. Next slide, ma'am. Planets which are habitable zone can only survive harmful heat of the sun and the sheer cold of the space. Ma'am, please next slide. Conditions required for their life include energy, carbon, liquid water, various other elements. There are many stars in our galaxy. Such stars are called exoplanets. Now my group member Atharva will give you a brief description about the habitable planets.
Thank you, Jaswini. Uh, there are countless stars in our universe. Near each one of them may be a planet and have everything to perform life on them. Please change the slide. From a list of 4,500, a scientist has identified 24 super habitable planets. These type of planets are suitable for the extension and evolution of life. Please change the slide. Such type of planet must be larger and twice in the size and 1.3 times larger than the Earth. Please change the slide. Weak side means stronger gravity, great and denser atmosphere. This will ensure a great diversity of life on the planet. Now my friend Khush will continue the topic. Thank you.
Conclusion. According to scientists, there is no specific definition of life, as microorganisms are also living, and scientists have found species like terriers, also known as water bears, who can survive in extreme conditions, from extremely hot to no oxygen. And also, they can adapt to breathe in carbon dioxide, but But that is just a theory of mine. Ma'am, please change the slide. As we all know, scientists have spotted a lot of extraterrestrial activities as well as green lush on some planets, which just which generally means plants, but it's just a speculation as it could be anything. It can also be a large deposit of green algae which could later generate into animals or potentially humans, which is the same thing that happened to Earth. According to us, there can be life on Venus as tardigrades can survive harsh conditions and species like them can adapt to live there and survive the sulfur rain and also potential life because of the UFO seen in the last few years and green lush found on planets. So at last, I would like to thank the respected judges, teachers, sisters, vice principal and brother for giving us the chance to perform and also the staff for conducting science symposium. Thank you.
You have really worked hard, children. Now I will request the judge, Miss Nikita, to ask any questions relevant to the topic.
Okay, good afternoon, dear children. Kush, Anmol, Athav Singh, Ojaswini Mahajan. I really enjoyed watching your slide. Okay, your topic was really appropriate. Okay, so
Thank you, ma'am.
here you used one sentence that life exists because of greenhouse gases and ozone layer. Okay, so I would like to ask, you might be heard the topic of ozone depletion. So any one of you just give me the answer. What do you mean by depletion of ozone layer?
Ma'am, because of the global warming, there is a chance that the ozone layer will, ma'am, have, ma'am, like it would like have holes which could let the sun rays, ma'am, harmful sun rays, UV light on the Earth's surface, which could cause a very disastrous situation.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, thank you. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
I now call upon the participants of ninth B. To start with the presentation, I'll invite Arvind Thakur.
Okay, just a minute. I'll just make the presentation for ninth B ready. So as you all are already aware of how we have to start, so ninth B, you can start with introducing your team as well as the topic.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Arvind Singh Thakur of class 9B, and my two members are Harshil Shrirao and Deepika Johan. And today we are going to express our views on the topic that is Earth Beyond Earth Life Possibilities in the Universe. Next slide, please.
Just a second. Once I start your timer, then only you'll be getting the time to start with your presentation. So you have to wait for the 5 countdown, okay? And 3 beep sounds. After 3 beep sounds, you'll be hearing a long beep and then you can start. So all eyes on the timer here. We'll start now.
Life in the Universe. Life is present on Earth nearly everywhere, even under most extreme conditions. Life survives in boiling hot springs and in permanently frozen tundra. Life can be found in the perpetual darkness and crushing pressures on the ocean floor. Given these extremes, can life exist on other planets or moons in our solar system and other stars? Next slide, please. Extreme life on Earth. In the last few decades, we have been discovering on Earth more and more extreme environments in which life has been discovered. Environment in which the prospects of life has been discovered highly unlikely. But the tenacity, diversity, and uniquity of Earth-based life continues to amaze. The existence of life, even its most basic form in such harsh environment, has changed our views on the prospects for extraterrestrial life. Next slide, please. The search for life around other stars. By measuring small droplet shifts in the spectra of stars, astronomers have discovered almost 100 planets. So far, these planets are estimated to be as large as Jupiter's or Saturn. As technology improves, Astronomers expect to able to find smaller planets and perhaps to observe them direct for signs of life. Next slide, please. So now I would request my friend Harshal to continue with this slide.
Just a moment, students. Yes, please continue.
Harshil,
Ma'am, I think he,
you have
ma'am,
to
I think
start
he
with
is
the
not
presentation.
available. So, ma'am, so
He
I
has
am
some
continuing.
issue with the network.
Ma'am, I don't know.
Deepika, you are starting?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am,
But
I think.
sorry, ma'am, there was a bit of network connection. Sorry, ma'am.
Don't panic. Yeah, don't panic, Harshil. Start with the presentation.
SETI. Some astronomers have begun to search for signals coming from intelligent life somewhere. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence. SETI is collecting radio data and searching for patterns that seems artificial. This difficult process requires lot of data and lots of computing time. The SETI at the rate home project enables anyone with a computer to help in this search. Next slide please ma'am. The need to search for aliens. In the past couple of decades, the study of life on Earth has revealed the existence of life in extreme environments that were generally thought to be unhabitable. The organic chemicals needed for life, as we know it, found pervasively in the between the stars of the galaxy. In the past decade, we have been detecting more and more planets orbiting other stars. Now I invite Deepika to take it from here. Thank you.
Ma'am, next slide, please. Is there life beyond Earth? In 2015, NASA announced that liquid water exists on Mars today. Scientists estimate that at least one-fifth of Mars was covered with ocean about 4.5 billion years ago. Saturn's moon Enceladus also has massive global ocean beneath its icy shell. This ocean floor is lined with hydrothermal vents, the same vents that may have spawned life on Earth. Jupiter's moon Europa could harbor more water than Earth itself. Brownish veins on the surface of point to seeping liquid water from the moon's melting. Ma'am, next slide, please. The Saturn's largest moon, Titan, is only other body in our solar system with lakes on the surface, but these lakes are made of liquid methane, not water. Scientists have shown how methane-based oxygen-free living cells consist on methane. One planet that scientists have discovered in our own galaxy, being dubbed Earth 2.0 Kepler 452b, is an Earth-like planet 1,400 light years away. Its size, orbit, sun, age provide the opportunity of life to arise. Ma'am, next slide, please. Many scientists are using the Allen telescope era determine if an alien civilization lives in an unusual star system 1,500 light years away. Thoughts are changed to the large hubs of matter orbiting dark could be part of an alien-built megastructure. At last, in conclusion, at last, in conclusion, in conclusion,
Yes.
we with this presentation we can conclude that the question should not be that is there life beyond Earth, rather it should be we will ever find it. Thank you.
That's really coming along nicely, children. Well done. Any questions regarding the topic, Nikita ma'am?
Okay, so children, your slide presentation was very good. Okay, although there was some technical problem, but which was not the issue. Okay, so just I would like to ask you one question related to your slide only. In the slide, you used one abbreviation SETI, or I have to pronounce SETI. So can you give the full form of that? Any one of you?
Summit informal to search for extraterrestrial intelligence.
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikita ma'am. For the next set of presentation, I'll invite Deenu Markade from class 9C.
Just a second. Okay, please start.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes,
Ma'am?
yes, dear, you're audible.
Okay, ma'am. Greetings to everyone present over here. We, the students of class 9, have created a presentation on life possibilities beyond Earth. I, Dinu Magarde, Anvesha Pal, and Anand Sai will furthermore explain about this topic. Ma'am, next slide.
Just a second. Please wait for the timer to start.
Okay, ma'am. Well, have you ever wondered that are we only the life in this universe? Is Earth only the planet that supports life? The thought of being alone or having alien life in this universe are equally terrifying. Well, the probability of having alien life is more than not having alien life, as there are many undiscovered galaxies and millions of planets, and it describes that there must be life beyond Earth. Ma'am, next slide. Well, if we have to find life according to which we have on Earth in this universe, we must notice the factors affecting life. These are: first, energy. The planet's location should be perfect so that the star's energy can reach it just in the right amount. Second, liquid. Water protects body organs and tissues and carries nutrients and oxygen to cells. The most important thing for life formation is water, as in water, atoms can move freely and form molecules. Third, heavy elements. Our body have a structure that these elements are very necessary for survival. Ma'am, next slide. Some planets which have strong possibilities of life are and may contain water are: first, Kepler 62f. Well, there is a possibility that this planet have water on it. The latest data suggests that up to 1 upon 4 of the stars have rocky planets orbiting their habitable zone, the right distance for liquid water. Second planet, T Garden b. This planet is a confirmed that this planet have water on its surface. Ma'am, next slide. Now, I would like my friend Anvesha to furthermore explain about this topic.
Thank you, Dinu. Is life possible on Mars? Mars is of particular interest for the study of life because of its similarities with early Earth. Some evidences suggest that Mars might have water on its surface and was habitable for microorganisms. But the presence of life, even in the past, is not yet discovered. Scientific searches for evidences of life began in the 19th century and continues today via telescopic investigation and deployed probes. The modern scientific inquiry has emphasized the search for water, chemical biosignatures, and many other things. Next slide, please. Measures taken by countries to find alien life. Russia. A Russian scientist, Andrei Finkelstein, speaking at an international forum dedicated to the search for extraterrestrial life. Finkelstein said 10% of the known planets circling Sun in the galaxy resembles Earth. If water can be found there, then so can life. He said, adding that aliens would most likely resemble humans with two arms, two legs, and a head. They may have different color, but even we have that. Next slide, please. We frequently listen about aliens. Wow signal received in 1977 indicates the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence. We couldn't contact the alien doesn't mean they don't exist. They are very well existing. Our science is just not well enough to contact them. So please remember we are not alone in the universe. Next slide, please. Now I would like my friend Anand to explain furthermore.
Thank you, Anvisha. Now I would like to talk about proofs of alien existence. In 60s, astronomer Frank Drake came up with a Drake equation which predicated that there are millions of civilizations out there among the stars. Here you can see the Drake equation in the picture. In 70s, we sent radio signals from Earth into space. They started with a simple base and then became more complex. But sadly, we didn't get any response. But search continued, and in 2015 the search stepped up. Professor Stephen Hawking teamed up with a Russian billionaire Yuri Milner to form Breakthrough Listen, which was a $100 million 10-year privately funded search. But the difference is sending a message is no longer a priority, and this project was all about listening and watching. And this is why their money has developed the best listening devices in history. And also they are looking for the other ways aliens may communicate, like laser flashes and technosignatures. Next slide please. Now I would like to show this picture proof in which you can see a pyramid shaped object in the sky. Here this picture was taken by a navy personnel. So here I want to conclude that aliens aliens exist, and if aliens exist, there is life among the stars. Thank you.
Students, I would just like to give one message to all the participants. Please don't get discouraged with the timer running off, okay, going off. Just continue whatever you are saying. If you are concluding your presentation, just continue with that, okay, and don't worry about the buzzer, okay.
What a wonderful teamwork, dear children. Nikita ma'am, any questions?
Okay. So yeah, children, your presentation was excellent. Okay, I really enjoyed watching all the slides. Okay, so just simple question for all of you. Anyone can give the answer. In your slide, you used the term heavy elements. Examples also you put. So can you give the examples of heavy elements?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Anyone?
examples of heavy elements. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Ma'am, examples of heavy elements can be gases which are most probably present on Earth, like oxygen, carbon,
Hmm.
etc. Ma'am,
Okay.
helium,
Okay.
argon.
Fine.
Ma'am, exact.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. Thank you. All the best, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's now move on to the presentation by class ninth D. For that, Devnanda and I will now start the presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes, dear, you're audible.
Yes, ma'am. The day we stop exploring is the day we commit ourselves to live in a stagnant world devoid of curiosity, empty of dreams. With this thought, I would like to wish a heartfelt good afternoon to Reverend Brother Monachan, Vice Principal Reverend Brother Vinu, judges, and all my dear friends. I, Devnanda Nair, and my fellow classmates Rhythm Jain and Pratmesh Kumar Singh are enlightened to share our views on the topic Earth Beyond Earth, Life Possibilities in the Universe. So let's start with our first planet, Ganymede. Ganymede. Ganymede?
Just a second.
Ma'am,
I
can
would like
I
to interrupt here. You have to start speaking only when the timer starts, okay? So just wait for my cues. I'm going to change the slide here and just wait for the timer. Please start.
Yes, ma'am. Ganymede. Ganymede is the largest moon of Jupiter, ninth largest object including the Sun. If it was not a satellite, it would have been considered a dwarf planet. Since it has water and we can make atmosphere, scientists have told that in the future we might colonize Ganymede. Astronomers using Hubble found the evidence of a thin oxygen atmosphere in Ganymede in 1996. Now I would like Pratmesh to hop on to the next planet, that is Mars.
Thank you, Devnanda. Next slide, please. The second planet on the list is Mars, often known as the red planet. One third of the radius of Earth, and its gravity is approximately one third of the Earth's gravity. Its temperature is relatively low, but can be habitable with the oxygen level on Mars is only 0.13% compared with 21% of Earth's atmosphere. There is no water body present on the in the surface of the Mars, but there's evidence of water in the atmosphere and soil. Has also has carbon dioxide, and it has no magnetosphere.
Ma'am, can you please change the slide? The soil of Mars have all the ingredients needed for the growth of plants, so the farming can be is possible on the planet. Ma'am, next slide, please. The third planet is the Luna, the Earth's moon. Its radius is almost lesser than one fourth of Earth's radius, and its gravity is approximately less than one fourth of Earth's gravity. Its temperature is relatively low, but can be habitable with using some gears. The scientists found there's less amount of oxygen on the atmosphere of the moon, but scientists have found oxygen in the soil of the moon and can extract it by the process called ex- electrolysis. Next slide, please. NASA's SOFIA Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy confirmed the first time water on the moon. There are approximately 10 billion tons of water present on the surface of the moon in the poles. Next slide, please. The next planet is a Titan, the largest moon of the Saturn. Its radius is approximately one fourth of Earth's radius, and its gravity is less than one fourth of Earth's gravity. Its temperature is relatively low, but can be habitable with some gears. The atmosphere of Titan is nitrogen based. That is, it has clouds and rainfall of methane, and it is the only planet besides Earth having water bodies made of ethane. The soil of Titan is made of tholins, complex nitrogen-rich substance, often very fine soil to for the growth of plants. Now I will hand it over to Rhythm to take over the presentation.
Thank you, Pratmesh. Next slide, please. Ceres. It is a planet located in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Its radius is that 1/13th of Earth, and its gravity is only as 3% of Earth. Its temperature is relatively low, but like Siberia, it has water in ice form, which contains minerals unlike table salt, but like magnesium sulfate. It does not have any magnetosphere. The future astronauts could extract water from Ceres to make oxygen and rocket fuel. Though it has very thin layer of atmosphere, scientists may believe a mega satellite orbiting Ceres would make a fine home for humans. Next slide, please. There are some upcoming missions. Ganymede, Jupiter Ganymede Orbiter. It is a ESA's oriented mission which included detail for studies for Ganymede. March 2020 Perseverance rover seeks signs for ancient life and collect samples of rock and regolith. Curiosity rover, car-sized rover designed to explore the Gale crater on Mars. Insight lander, the interior exploration using seismic investigation to study deep interior of the planet. Artemis mission. It is a very special mission because it is the goal of landing first female astronaut and the next male astronaut on the moon south pole by 2024. Dragonfly mission. It is a spacecraft which will send a robotic rotorcraft to the surface of Titan for origins of life. It's a NASA's mission. Ceres, which has no future missions currently, but there has been a mission called Dawn in 2007. And that was the end of our presentation. Thank you.
Children, you have expressed yourself very well. Any questions, Nikita ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. Yes, children, you are excellent. Okay, your presentation was very good. You all were really confident. Okay, so this question is related to your slide only. So, what is the according to your slide? What is the percentage of oxygen on Mars? Any one of you can give the answer. If you remember, what is the percentage of oxygen on Mars?
Ma'am, it is 0.13%.
Okay, okay, fine, good. All the best.
Now for the last set of slides, I'll invite Kushal Lokhande to move with the presentation. Kushal Lokhande 9th.
Yes, ma'am. Just a second, please give me a moment to set up your presentation. Yes, please start with introducing your team members and the theme.
Good noon, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. We, Ananya Kushal Prasiddhi, students of class 90, are here to present Interclass Science Symposium on the topic Earth Beyond Earth, Life Possibilities in the Universe. Put it on this slide only, ma'am.
Just a second,
I would.
please. Just a second, please. As you already know that you will only start speaking after the timer starts. So just wait for the timer.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you,
Yes, please start.
ma'am, can you back the introduction slide only?
Okay. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to begin with a question. Really, is it possible that life can sustain somewhere else on Earth? Give it a thought. Let's start with a phrase.
Just a second.
Speaking of,
Just a second. I think there is some problem over here. See, firstly, you have to in the first slide. Your timer will not start from the first slide. First slide is where you only introduce yourself, your team members, and the topic. You just specify the name of the topic on which you are going to discuss. Okay. The time
okay,
when the
ma'am.
timer starts, that is when you start actually presenting your theme. Is it clear? So
Okay, ma'am.
you can just start again. Start with introducing your team members.
Yes, ma'am. Good noon, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. We, Ananya Prasiddhi, we, Ananya Kushal Prasiddhi, students of class 90, are here to present Interclass Science Symposium on the topic Earth Beyond Earth, Life Possibilities in the Universe. Put it on the slide only.
Yes, just a second.
I would like to begin with a question. Really, is it possible that life can sustain
Kushal,
somewhere else that on Earth?
Kushal, you did not understand my point here. You have to give me time to start the timer, okay? So that has to be followed. You cannot start presenting your presentation if the timer has not started, okay? So you have to keep that in mind. That is the reason why I gave you the second chance, okay? So I'm going to start the timer once again, and once the timer, the countdown ends, and you have a long beep, you'll be hearing a long beep sound. After that only you start with your question and whatever content you have. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. I would like to begin with a question. Really, it is possible that life can sustain somewhere else that on Earth. Give it a thought. Let's start with a phrase. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. According to National Aeronautics and Space Administration (NASA), Earth is the only planet where life sustains because it contains water, soil, and some other basic elements which are essential for life existence. Now, my friend, Prasiddhi will continue.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, dear.
Okay. Now let us come to some major points. Earth. Earth has an ideal atmosphere. Earth has an ideal atmosphere because it has some major climatic conditions which supports life in a huge way. That are, if these conditions are lacking on other planets, that's why there are somewhat life different and difficult on other planets. Now let us come to the second point. Water. Water, a basic need. Water is really important ingredient to sustain the kind of a life we know now. Both plants and animals want water in an equal amount. That's why they are mutually dependent on water for their survival. The most adorable feature of planet Earth is that it has the most of water in a liquid form, which helps us to have a life we know now. Ma'am, can you please next slide? Now let us come to the third most important point. Perfect distance from sun and solar system. For living things, the correct temperature is really important, and it came from the distance. If suppose the earth was too close of the sun, then the climatic conditions was hot.
that much in the climatic conditions inside the volcanoes. This type of climate will not be suitable for humans to survive. If suppose Earth was too far off the sun, then the climatic conditions was that cold that also is very tough for humans to survive. That's why the perfect distance from the sun is really important for us to have a perfect life we know now. Next slide. Now let us come to some basic elements present in equal amount on Earth and which are really very important for survival. First, carbon. Carbon is a carbon dioxide which is also known as greenhouse gas that plays a very important role in trapping heat close to Earth. Second, nitrogen. Nitrogen is crucially important component for all life. It is an important part of many cells and processes such as amino acids, proteins, and even in our DNA. Third, phosphorus. Phosphorus is a key, an organic substance that acts as life's molecular unit of currency. Now, fourth, sulfur. Sulfur is a part of a most biochemical process on Earth and most enzymes cannot function without it. Now, I would like to call upon Ananya for continuation.
Ma'am, next slide, please. We all know that food is the basic necessity for the existence of life on Earth, and honeybees play a very important role in a food cycle. By pollinating trees and plants, the bees are important for the food production of all the other animals and birds in the forest. Honeybees are among the most numerous and efficient pollinator species in the world. And by doing so, they protect and maintain ecosystem. Also, they contribute to genetic and biotic diversity. Next slide, please. Soil. Human life is directly dependent on soil. Soil is not the source of nutrients and soil is the source of nutrients and water for plants, which offer human one of their primary sources of food, but it is also the reserve of water. Without oxygen and water, a human cannot survive. Ma'am, next slide. A friendly moon. The brightest and the darkest object in our night sky, the moon makes Earth a more livable planet. By moderating our home planet's wobble on its axis, leading to a relatively stable climate. It is the pull of the moon's gravity on the Earth that holds our planet in place. Without the moon stabilizing our tilt, it is possible that the Earth's tilt could vary widely. It would move from no tilt, which means no season, to a large tilt, which means extreme weather and even ice age. Ma'am, next slide, please.
So by going through the lovely voice presentation, revisit our initial question. Hmm. Yes, our home planet Earth is the only place in the known universe to host life. Our Earth, which is the third planet from the Sun in the solar system, has got liquid water on its surface, and all living things on Earth had adapted the atmosphere, which means all living things need mix of atmospheric gases. Which with this with this great thank you to our unique planet Earth, we Ananya Kushal Prasiddhi and all of us are living. Thank you very much.
I'm proud. Nikita ma'am, any questions?
Yeah, ma'am. 1 minute. Okay, so children, excellent. Okay, I really enjoyed your lively presentation. Okay, your concept was really clear. So my simple question is related to your slide only. You mentioned about greenhouse gases. So any one of you, can you name few greenhouse gases? One or two example of greenhouse gases? Any one of you?
Oxygen.
Ma'am, carbon
Oxygen.
dioxide also.
Okay, fine.
Ma'am,
Okay,
methane,
thank you.
nitrous oxide, and ozone.
Okay, 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 fine. Thank you. All the best of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So children, I'm proud of the way you all have worked today. Now that's what I call a fine job. Science means constantly walking a tightrope between blind faith and curiosity, between expertise and creativity, between bias and openness, between ambition and passion, and between arrogance and conviction. In short, between an old today and a new tomorrow. Thank you all for listening. It was a pleasure being a part of the event today. If the class 9 children, I'll request them, if they want to attend the event of class 10, they can stay in the meeting. That will enhance their knowledge. Now I request Mrs. Anu Umesh to take you forward through the engrossing journey of the world of science. Over to Anu, ma'am.
Thank you, Ansuma. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the second stage of Science Symposium. I request starting. And the topic, as you all are aware of the topic for the class 10 is artificial intelligence. Regulations, as we have already discussed this with you people, and work rule is duration of the presentation is 5 minutes. By a short interactive section with the judge. Total number of slides should be 1 plus 8. That is your full name of all the participants, class and the session, and obviously the topic. The next 8 slides should have and the parameters for evaluation. You will be judged by the following parameters. First, the quality of which includes the confidence and spontaneity. Second, concept clarity, and third, relevance to the allotted topic. Section of the symposium. I wish all the best to all the participants. I request Vidya ma'am to take over from here.
Thank you, Anu ma'am. A very good afternoon to all who are present here. Science is simply the word to describe a method of organizing our curiosity. With this quote, it is my pleasure to welcome the participants of class 10 for Science Symposium. All the best, dear children. Now, I would like to invite Siddharth Pizda of class 10th A to start their presentation.
Okay, class 10th A, just give me a moment to get ready with your presentation here. So just wait for a moment. Okay, so as I had already made it clear some time ago that you have to first introduce yourself, your team members, and the topic, and only on the next slide, once I start the timer, only then start speaking. Okay, so just wait for my cue. Please start.
Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, beta.
Yes.
We human beings are the reproductive organs of technology, and any such advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Well, with this thought, my hearty good afternoon to the respected judges, teachers, and all my dear friends. Today, myself Siddharth Pizda and my colleagues Divyansh Lamania and Pratik Rohila of class 10th A are here to present our views on artificial intelligence. Technology is changing rapidly, and artificial intelligence is the future of technology.
Just a
So, my
second,
dear
Siddharth.
friends, yes, ma'am.
Siddharth, just a
Yes,
second.
ma'am.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope you are already aware that you have to start explaining the content
No,
only
ma'am, I'm not
after
explaining. This is
the
a part
time.
of introduction. This is a part
Okay,
of
sure,
introduction.
sure.
So, my dear friends, tighten your seatbelts and get ready to explore the world of artificial intelligence with us. Let's begin. Next slide, please. So, what actually is this artificial intelligence? Let me tell you in a very simple and precise language. We human beings are much more superior to all the living beings present on Earth in terms of thinking and doing things. So, just imagine a machine having that same sort of thinking and doing the way we do. That is none other than artificial intelligence. Okay, let me give you one example. Let's talk about Google Assistants and Siri. What are they? They behave like us. On just one say, they can manage your entire room and schedule. Face recognition, speech recognition, and text recognitions are the apps which work on artificial intelligence because they behave like human beings and do the work which makes our work more easier and accurate. So I hope that you are understood with artificial intelligence. If I could explain artificial intelligence in words, then it could be is a combination of technical solving, creativity, and immense intelligence. Let's move to next slide.
Ma'am, am I audible? Ma'am, should I start?
Yes, beta, you can start.
It was the year 1950 when it all started. The father of artificial intelligence, Alan Turing, introduced artificial intelligence. In the year 1955, John McCarthy coined the term artificial intelligence. After some years, computer became faster and affordable. In the year 1980, it was the year of artificial intelligence because the demands of computer were increased very much. And in the year 2000, landmark of AI was established and achieved because China introduced many electrical appliances and people started using them. Next slide, please. Now we will talk about some demands of artificial intelligence. One of them is more computational power. Artificial intelligence requires more computational powers so that the work can be done in speed and accuracy. The best example of it are specialized AI chips that provide increased computing power and storage while decreasing energy consumption. The second point is more data. The second point is more data. Artificial intelligence requires data so that it can be stored and analyze incoming news events, identify topics, and AI can automatically generate articles and stories on them. The third point is better algorithms. Artificial intelligence requires better algorithms so that it can be set in the AI program to help it work on its own. The examples of some AI programs are Siri, Google Assistant, and Alexa. The fourth and the most important demand of artificial intelligence is broad investment. It is because the machines cannot it is because the machines cannot work without money and made without money. Till now, an amount of $50 billion have already been invested in artificial intelligence. In the year 2019, the amount increased from $37.5 billion, and it is to be accepted to increase till $110 billion till 2024. So these were some demands of artificial intelligence. Next slide, please. Now we will talk about six applications of artificial intelligence. The first one is healthcare. Artificial intelligence can be used in healthcare so that the doctor can analyze the patient clearly and help and can give him better operation. The second application is business. We have many programs like Mark and Tally, which can be used to make bills and can calculate the income of and can calculate income of their businessman. The third one is education. There are many apps like Microsoft Teams, Byju's, Vedantu, and Topper, which can be held in online learning. The fourth point is vehicle. The best example of artificial intelligence used in vehicle is Tesla because it contains the feature of auto driving. The fifth one in travel industries. And the artificial intelligence is used in travel industry by apps like Make My Trip, Trivago, and many others. The sixth point is social media. Artificial intelligence is used in social media like from apps like WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you.
Next slide, please.
Okay, was it over?
No, ma'am, it is still left.
Okay, fine. So I'll give you time. So it was which slide? Could you just tell me the number? The time was up.
Yes, ma'am, this slide was that.
Okay, fine. Continue. Yes, please continue.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
There are certain types of AI based on ability and functionality. Based on ability, there are three types of AIs. Narrow AI. A most common example of narrow AI is Google Assistant. It can't think on its own, it only performs the function that we tell it to do. Second comes a general AI. General AI can be found in almost every smartphone nowadays, which has face recognition to unlock your phones and virtual filters on our faces while taking pictures. Super AI. Super AI, uh, an example of Super AI is the streaming platforms we use nowadays, like Netflix, Spotify, and YouTube. Now, based on functionality, there are four types of AIs. Reactive machines. The example of reactive machines is Google's AlphaGo, which is a chess playing supercomputer. Limited memory. Self-driving cars are the best example of limited memory, which uses sensors to identify civilians on the road, traffic signals, and make quick driving decisions. Self-awareness. Example of this type of AI is a robot called ARM, which was made by a group of Columbia University. Next slide, please. Now we're going to talk about the future of AI. Deep learning. Deep learning contains virtual assistant like Google Assistant, face recognition are some examples of deep learning. Blockchains. In healthcare sector, healthcare providers can use blockchains to securely store their patients' medical records. When a medical record is generated and signed, it can be written into the blockchain so that it can be kept safe. Cybersecurity. An example is that QuickHeal is launching L7 Defense Property AI, which will provide protection against virus, bot attacks, malware protection, and more. Cryptocurrency. Singularity Net is an example of AI cryptocurrency. Singularity Net allows anybody to adapt AI algorithms, permitting organizations, companies, and developers to purchase and sell AI at a scale. Next slide, please.
So, my dear friends, today now we'll be talking about the advantages and disadvantages of artificial intelligence. The first advantage that we can see is about flexibility. In using AI, we can do a lot number of applications, and that comes under flexibility. The next thing that we have is the decreased latency, which means error in processing data is reduced using artificial intelligence. The next that we have is energy efficiency. A less energy is required as compared to any other technology when it comes to artificial intelligence and using its product. The next we have is parallelism. One great advantage of artificial intelligence is that we can do a lot of work simultaneously using artificial intelligence, especially when it comes to robots. But there are some disadvantages of artificial intelligence. The first is programming. Programming is not as easy as it seems to be when it comes to programming of artificial intelligence. Second is implementation of complexity, which means that structuring of artificial intelligence is not that easy and it is very hard, especially when it comes to automobile sector like Tesla and different other companies where autopilot mode is there and structuring that is not as easy. Third is expense. It is extremely expensive to build it and also to afford it, and hence it is not affordable to everyone. Only those who are rich can afford it. Fourth is lack of libraries. For those who don't know what is library, let me tell you, in the world of programming, library is a collection of pre-written codes. But unfortunately, artificial intelligence doesn't have such sort of codes. Next slide, please. So we have come to the end of the slide. So as we have seen that artificial intelligence has both advantages and disadvantages. But we cannot be completely rely on artificial intelligence because it is after all created by us human beings. But we can also cannot remove it completely from our lives. Hence, it should be 50-50. because technology is a good servant but could be a dangerous master. And also, from my personal point of view, if this technology cannot fix our human problems such as poverty, sanitation, drinking problems, and pollution, then it would be worthless and useless. So, my dear friends, I hope that you understood the artificial intelligence and its importance in our life and how will our future will be with it. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.
Dear students, I'm fascinated to see your exceptional performance. Keep going ahead. Now, I request our respected judge, Vinny ma'am, if she want to ask any question regarding the topic.
First of all, let me congratulate you. It was an excellent performance and the presentation was well executed, and it was pleasure watching your presentation and you covered all the topics. Okay, so nothing left. So my seat belt was also tight and you proved it better. So may I ask whether can this artificial intelligence work or perform the task better than humans?
Thank you, ma'am, for asking question. It's my honor to answer your question. As you asked me, like whether it can perform tasks better than human beings. So yes, in many sectors it can perform tasks better than human beings. But when it comes to psychology and human emotions, then it cannot perform as like human beings, because after all they are machines and they are programmed by us. But when it comes to emotions, then it is hard because they don't understand emotions. But however, in the future, maybe after 50, 60 years, when the technology would have gone much ahead, then maybe the artificial intelligence that we have now would be much more advanced, and they may be able to understand the human emotions and psychology.
Yes, you are absolutely right, and they are working on emotions too, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Now, I would like to invite Aditi Singh Tomar of class 10th B for their presentation. Okay, just give me some time that I could get your presentation ready. Okay, so as you already are aware that you have to start the timer, you have to start presenting your content only after the timer starts. The first timer will not start at the first slide because it is only for you to introduce yourself and your team members. Okay, okay, I think
Yes,
there
ma'am.
is just a second. Let me just change the slide. Yes, so Aditi, I think you are good to go. Please start.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
It could be terrible or it could be great, but one thing's for sure, we will not control it. With this auspicious thought by Elon Musk, I, Aditi Singh Tama of class 10B, with my dear classmates Pura Pachoria and Apura Jalimanchi, would like to commence our presentation for Science Symposium on the topic Artificial Intelligence. Next slide, please.
Just a second. Please wait for the timer to start after a countdown of 5.
So, we'll begin with the contents of our presentation. We'll be discussing introduction and what is AI. Next, we'll discuss history of AI and applications of AI. Moving on to advantages, disadvantages, and last but not the least, future of AI. Next slide, please. As very well said by the great scientist Albert Einstein, that the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. So, the first question which comes to our mind actually is that what does it mean for something to be artificially intelligent? Talking in a nutshell, it simply means computers to have a certain level of intelligence or thinking abilities that is currently accessible by humans. Next slide, please. Now, I would like Apurva to continue with the next part of our presentation.
Thank you, Aditi, for giving me the opportunity to speak of the next content of our presentation. Well, do you all know what is the history related to AI? Let me try to explain it to you all myself. As we all know, it's quite clear and to be well understood that the development of AI is not just about days or weeks, but it is the fusion of brilliant minds working over and putting their effort in this sphere for about years. It was discovered in the year 1956 by John McCarthy, who is considered as the father of AI. It was discovered at Dartmouth Summer Research Project. So, what is the aim of AI? Why was it discovered? There might be many questions in your mind. The aim of AI is to improve computer functions which are related to human knowledge, for example, reasoning, learning, problem solving, etc. Next slide, please, ma'am. AI have its application in multiple fields. In marketing sector, it can be used in the form of chatbots, also designing, advertising, creating content, etc. Talking about user-friendly interface, it can be used in the form of virtual assistant or virtual search. Next slide, please, ma'am. Next, the task here is used in the form of engineering, scientific, and financial analysis, and the most important, making robots like Sophia. It might be surprising, but AI is also used in healthcare. It can assist a doctor in surgery, medical diagnosis, discovery of drugs, so on. Next slide, please, ma'am. Now I would like Purva to take over the next topic.
Thank you, Apurva, for giving me the opportunity to speak on the next content of our presentation. AI is likely to be either the best or the worst thing to happen to humanity. A very thought provoking quote by Stephen Hawking. Now, I would try to gather your attention towards the advantages of AI. Let's take Sophia as example to understand the advantages properly. Replicates of Sophia could substitute human part of taking risks. They also help in improving efficiency of work along with utmost accuracy. Robots like Sophia can be better data analysts with reduction in the error rates than humans. AI gives a customer satisfying experience by providing its services 24 by 7 hours, thus enhancing the relations between customers and companies. It contributes in companies' development by enabling business to take faster and risk-free decisions. Next slide, please, ma'am. As we all know that a coin has two sides, likewise AI too have boon and bane. Moving on to the disadvantages, now let's take an example to understand it in a better way. Chennai just got its robot restaurant, which was launched recently in the year 2017. It has employed robots as waiters to serve the food to guests, subsequently causing unemployment to many professions. Here, people could place the order by making the use of tap placed on each table. This kind of framework requires a huge investment for its creation and time to time maintenance. They lack creativity, emotions, and are capable only of performing repetitive tasks. Ability of these robots to record speech may invade the privacy of customers as well. Though AI have many advantages, but it's pretty obvious that unless we learn how to prepare for and avoid the risk, AI could be the worst event in the history of our civilization. Next slide, please. In the forthcoming years, there is much scope in the field of AI. People believe to have supreme contribution from AI in the development of the countries. As you all could make out from the mentioned graph, that the finance of the country parallelly evolves with the emergence of AI. It's quite stirring for sure, but the fear is still warranted of AI taking a hold over humanity. So now we would like to conclude our presentation that AI has served the humans adequately and had made our life easier in a diverse manner, where the balance need to strike is still not clear. Thank you everyone for listening us patiently.
I'm very happy to see the efforts that you put in, dear children. Great job. Now, I request Tini ma'am if she is having any questions regarding the topic.
Very well done, children. Very well presented. In yours, I would like to ask one
Yes,
question,
ma'am.
and if you please answer.
Yes, ma'am.
See, in your slide, you said that there is some advantage, disadvantages and advantages, isn't it? So, how is the unemployment caused due to the introduction of AI? In which area? Unemployment.
Ma'am, I will be pleasure to answer your question. Ma'am, unemployment would be in those fields.
where the humans need to perform only repetitive tasks. Like in the case of, we have mentioned in our presentation that in Chennai, their robots are being used as servants. So they are being programmed for that purpose to work as servants. They do not need to think something out of the box, or they do not have to leave their minds for doing any work. They are being programmed for a certain kind of work and they could perform it easily.
So unemployment for which area? Means which post, which job?
Ma'am, like for performing surgeries instead of doctors, they could do that. In
Okay.
marketing sector also, they could work instead of humans.
Okay, Vedha. Okay, all the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, I would like to invite Ashmita Ikka from class 10C for their presentation.
Just give me a moment to load your presentation here. Yes, please
A
start
very
with
hearty good afternoon. A very hearty good afternoon to Honorable Principal, Reverend Brother Monachan, respected judges, teachers, and all my fellow mates. Today, I, Asmata Ikka, along with my team members, Priya Gupta and Ajay Vikram Singh from Class 10C, are going to present our views and regards on a very impressive topic dealing with science, artificial intelligence. I hope we as a team will do justice to the allotted topic. Next slide, please.
just a moment, Asmita.
Yes.
Please wait for the timer. Please start.
When we hear the term artificial intelligence, the first thing that pops in our mind is the robotic world, where we can control on certain appliances through our voice. Well, AI is more or less the same. Artificial intelligence is the theory and development of computer systems wherein they perform certain tasks that normally require human intelligence. In simple words, we let machines to think and behave like humans. Now, why do we need artificial intelligence? Some of the important points are written here in the slides that it has the ability to make accurate decisions and to think logically. But the main reason for the demand of AI is that we have more computational power now, and it's possible to implement AI in our daily life. In addition to that, we generate a lot of data in present, and hence we are in need of certain processes that can ease our life on normal basis. Next slide, please. History of Artificial Intelligence. In 1950, Alan Turing published a paper in which he speculated about the possibility of creating machines that think. The year 1956 is considered as the most important year in the invention of AI. We'll discuss about this in a further slide. In 1977, IBM's Deep Blue beat the world champion Gary Kasparov in the game of chess. This was kind of a first accomplishment in AI. And in 2011, IBM's question answer system Watson defeated two Jeopardy champions, Brad Weller and Ken Jennings. Next slide, please. John McCarthy, father of artificial intelligence. In 1956, John McCarthy hosted the famous Dartmouth Conference in Hanover, USA, wherein he coined the term artificial intelligence for the very first time. He defined artificial intelligence as the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. Next slide, please. Now I invite my next member to carry on with the further presentation. So you just unmute yourself.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, Suyog, can hear you.
Art types of artificial intelligence. There are of three types. Artificial super intelligence, which is a software based system with intellectual power, for example supercomputer. Artificial general intelligence is also known as strong AI, as it can solve very complicated problems. Artificial narrow intelligence is also known as weak AI, as it cannot solve very tough problems, for example PCs and laptops. Next slide please. Programming language. What is programming language? Language that can be understood by computers is known as programming language. For example, Python, Java, COBOL, Lua, C, Aztec, C++, PHP, Ruby are some examples. Ruby is a high level Ruby is a high level general purpose programming language. PHP is a general purpose programming language geared towards web development. Java is another high level programming language. Next slide please.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can. Please continue.
Applications of artificial intelligence. As you know, there are day-to-day uses of AI in our lives. From the following applications, I would like to discuss a few applications with you all. Like in social media, there are many platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Telegram, etc. In which on seeing the same type of videos, it automatically starts to recommend videos of the same type. Also in gaming, there are many platforms, but one of the best example is chess, in which many players from different locations can play on a single machine at the same time with the help of AI. Nowadays, AI is widely used in healthcare industries. Patient diagnosis is done more accurately with the help of AI. Diagnosis machines are equipped with AI and in result giving more accurate results. Next slide, please. Examples of artificial intelligence. Nowadays, we are seeing a lot of machine working around us using AI. One of the news breaking was about robot Sophia, which is equipped with AI. It was interviewed live by the anchor and it responded to every question. Netflix is another example using AI, with on searching a type of videos, it starts to recommend videos as our request. Advantages and disadvantages of AI. As you know, talking about advantages, it leads to it can give a good performance and can solve hard problems. Things which have advantages have disadvantages. Talking about disadvantages, it leads to unemployment and is very expensive. With this, we would like to conclude our presentation by saying that AI can change the world to a better place to live on. Also, we would like to thank all the teachers for giving us the opportunity to present our views on AI. Also, we would like to thank all for listening us patiently.
Commendable job, children. Marvelous performance. Any questions, Binny ma'am, from them?
It was remarkable and fantastic, children. You presented so well. Seeing your presentation, I would like to ask one question. You said that application of AI is in the field of transport too. What would be the change taking place when we use AI? From now, what would be the change would be taking place in the field of transport when AI is introduced? Any one of you can answer.
I'm using AI. The transport can be affected greatly as it can avoid huge traffic on the huge traffic with the help of AI.
Please repeat. Yes, beta. Come on. Just share yourself. Don't hesitate.
Your voice is breaking.
Acha. I could hear you clearly.
We can hear you, beta. Please speak.
We can hear you. Please continue.
Now can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
His voice is
With the help of AI, traffic can be affected highly as it helps to move the traffic more smoother than the normal way.
Okay, that means they will not see. There will not be any need of drivers if AI is introduced. It will be self-driven cars. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, beta. Then all the best. Nice presentation.
Thank
Now,
you, ma'am.
I would like to invite Krish Prasad from class 10th D for their presentation.
Just give me a moment. Yes, please start.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Today, Madhur Chauke, Deepti Singh Tiwari, and I, Krish Prasad from class 10th D, are here to present our views on artificial intelligence. Ma'am, next slide.
Just wait for the timer. Start.
These are the topics which we have included in our presentation. Introduction to artificial intelligence, its growth and development till now, applications of it in our daily life, advantages and disadvantages, and at last, conclusion. Ma'am, next slide. Introduction to artificial intelligence. So, according to the father of AI, that is John McCarthy, artificial intelligence is just the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. It is not like the natural intelligence that we humans and animals have. We can also say that artificial intelligence is the ability of a machine to perform tasks like thinking, learning, problem solving, and decision making. The main aim of AI researchers is to create such machines that can think logically and can take decisions on its own without any pre-programming, so that those machines can help humans to achieve tasks which we humans can't accomplish directly. Ma'am, next slide. Growth and development of AI. AI technology is evolving rapidly, making our systems more and more intelligent. In the year 1956, the word artificial intelligence was first coined by John McCarthy at the Dartmouth College Conference, and from then the work on AI started. Then in 1969, the first mobile robot Shaki was built, just for general purposes. It was a simple robot. Then in 1972, another robot, humanoid robot, Wabot was created. In 1997, a supercomputer, Deep Blue, defeated the world chess champion Garry Kasparov by its artificial intelligence. It happened for the first time that a computer has defeated a world chess champion. By 2002, robotic vacuum cleaners came in the market. And now today, many new things have came, like we have cars that can drive themselves, we have programs that can analyze our DNA to diagnose illness, we have virtual assistants that do what we say, and yes, many more things are yet to come. Ma'am, next slide. Now,
Applications of AI. Applications of AI today. AI is widely used in various sectors like healthcare, education, gaming, etc. So let's take a look on some sectors in which AI is used. AI in healthcare. AI is widely used in healthcare industries as it makes a better and faster diagnosis than humans. AI helps the doctor in detecting the disease and the health status of the patient. It can also help in improving the patient health or even saving them from death. AI as virtual assistants. AI is used as virtual assistants in Siri, Alexa, Google, etc. and can make our life faster, better and easier as it can follow the user's command by just using the voice recognition. And next slide please. AI in robotics. Nowadays, AI is playing an important role in robotics as with the help of AI, the intelligence level of robots can boost up so much that they can perform various tasks without any command or pre-programming. Humanoid robots like Erika and Sophia are a perfect example of how AI is useful in robotics as they can follow as they can behave and talk like humans. It may be possible that in future there will be more robots which may help humans in getting after their problems. Ma'am, next slide please. Advantages and disadvantages of AI. Advantages. AI can do laborious work very easily and with a high accuracy and less error. It can take faster decisions and it may be useful in risky areas such as mining, bomb diffusion, etc. AI can manage large records very efficiently and it can help in manufacturing of various important things. As every bright side has a dark version of it, artificial intelligence also has some disadvantages like the maintenance and repairing is expensive and it can cause unemployment in future. If we will use AI unnecessarily, then we may become lazy and more dependent on machines. AI can cause destruction in human life in future and it also has a lack of human touch. Ma'am, and now I would like to hand over it to Dipti. Next slide, please, ma'am.
Will AI
AI be the end of humanity? According to the views of Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking, AI will be a fundamental risk to the existence of human civilization. But there are also some AI researchers who say that AI will work only for the betterment of humanity. So, if this technology went into wrong hands, it may destroy the mankind too. But if it will be used wisely, it will work for the betterment of humanity. So till now, it is very hard to say that it will be going to harm or will be considered beneficial for us. AI is like a two-edged sword. On one end, it can solve problems intelligently, and on the other hand, it can pose problems by themselves. So it has to be used wisely. Now, next slide, slide please. Slide please. Conclusion: AI in simple words means giving intelligence to machines by humans. It was just a dream few years ago, but now it has came to reality. Like today, we have automatic cars, robots, etc., and many things are yet to come. AI systems are now used in various fields such as economics, medicine, engineering, military, games, etc. At last, I want to say the AI can become more advanced in future, but cannot take the place of humans in the situation of flexible and creative thinking. And yes, with artificial intelligence, the future seems intriguing and exciting. Thank you and have a nice day.
Awesome performance, children. Any questions, Bini ma'am?
Very well done. The presentation was very captive. So, seeing your presentation, may I ask you one question? Does machine learning come under AI? Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
It is.
Yes. Okay. Very well done, Becca. Good. All the
Thank you,
best.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, I would like to invite Tarang Tyagi from class 10th for their presentation.
Yes, please give me a moment. Yes, please start with the introduction. Yes, class 10th, please start.
Tarang Tyagi, please come for your presentation.
Dear, please switch on your microphone, switch on your mic, and it would be better if you switch on your webcam also, so that let us all see the speaker also. Okay, so please switch on your webcam as well as your mic.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Tarang Tyagi, and my teammates Tanvi Patidar and Soumya Bhushan of class 10th are here to enlighten the impact of artificial intelligence in making of this global world. Ma'am, next slide, please.
Yes, as you already know, I'll be starting the timer. Please wait for your time to start.
What is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is a broad branch of computer science aiming to create systems that can perform independently just like humans. Ma'am, next slide, please. The rate of progress in the field of AI is the most hotly contested aspect of the ongoing boom in computer science, teaching computers and robots how to perform complex tasks, both in physical realm and the virtual one. AI is going to change the world, but how and when are still an open question. Now, I would like to call Tanvi to discuss the advantages of AI.
Ma'am, am I visible and audible?
Yes.
Advantages of artificial intelligence. There are many advantages of artificial intelligence. Some of them I have included in my presentation. The very first advantage is it helps in inventing new useful things. AI is powering many inventions in almost every domain that will help humans to solve major problems. For example, doctors can now predict breast cancer in women at earlier stages with advanced AI-based technologies. Ma'am, next slide, please. The next advantage is it is available 24 by 7. A human can work 4 to 6 hours a day, excluding the breaks, while we can make an AI robot or a machine work 24 by 7 without any break. The next advantage is it helps in increasing accuracy. AI has the potential to be virtually free. Weather forecasting and meteorological departments have also started using AI to reduce human error. Governments have also started using AI to reduce frauds and minimize error in tax collections. Ma'am, next slide, please. The next advantage is daily applications. The most popular use of daily applications is in the form of digital assistants. They take up our voice commands and translate them into actions. Such daily applications are Apple Siri, Windows Cortana, and Google Assistant. Google is being frequently used in our daily life. For example, earlier, if we want to go to Indore, then we have to ask a person who had been to Indore to get its route. But now, simply we have to tap a phone and say, "Okay, Google, tell the route to Indore," and it will guide you through it. Now, I would like Soumya to discuss the disadvantages and conclude the symposium.
Disadvantages of artificial intelligence. Before looking at the disadvantages, let us look at a picture. Next slide, please. Ma'am, please, next slide. Yes, this is the picture of the first humanoid robot ever to get citizenship of a country. And this happened in 2017. You must be wondering that why I am sharing this fact. I'm sharing this just to show you that how far we have come with artificial intelligence and at the pace at which we are developing. Along with the advantages mentioned by Tanvi, this development comes with some disadvantages too. Let us look at them. Ma'am, previous slide, please. The first disadvantage is that it is very expensive. The cost of implementation of AI-based technology is very high. Another disadvantage is that it is unsafe. Because if it falls in wrong hands, it would be destructive. Just imagine that a well-developed artificially intelligent system is controlled by a terrorist group. That would be disastrous. Existential risk. I believe that when artificial intelligence is developed to its extreme, then there will be an existential risk for humans because it is a matter of fact that every smarter organism tends to control the weaker ones, just like we control tigers. Decrease in demand for human labors. It is obvious that machines and robots would be preferred over humans and hence causing unemployment. But with due course of time, new kinds of jobs will be created. At last, I want to conclude by saying that we should have a positive outlook towards this development in artificial intelligence. Despite these risks and challenges, we have to prepare ourselves for the coming changes because we know that AI is the future. There's a famous saying that change is the only constant thing, and we have had a history of technological revolutions, and we will adapt to the coming changes too. New kinds of jobs will be created, and it's just a matter of time. Thank you so much.
Very well expressed, children. Any questions, Binny ma'am, regarding the topic?
Very well done, children. It was well presented. So, errors made by artificial intelligence tools will be accurate or not?
Ma'am, they will be accurate because they will, as I explained in the slides also, that they help in increasing the accuracy too. So they will be accurate. More than humans, they will be accurate.
Yes, correct. Very good. So, very well done, children. I was very happy to see all of the presentations. It was very well executed. Thank you for the presentations and thank you for calling us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very well done, children. My dear Montfortians, you are smarter than anyone. Just work hard for your dreams and make them happen. All outstanding work in art as well as in science results from immense zeal applied to a great idea. With this quote, now I would like to call Devansh Lamania for vote of thanks.
Ma'am, should I start?
Yes, beta.
Yes, Devyansh, could you just switch on your webcam? Yes.
Ma'am, it's done. A warm and cherished morning to respected Principal, Reverend Mother Munichin, Vice Principal, Brother Binu Cherian, coordinators, judges, and dear teachers. It's my proud privilege to propose the vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of all those who worked hard in making the Science Symposium a grand success. I, Divyansh Lamania of Class 10th, thank the Almighty for His blessings and grace, which helped us in achieving the feat with great precision and perfection. I thank the leader, the beacon of knowledge, the backbone of this institution, our principal, Reverend Brother Munuchin, for showing us the way, guiding us, correcting us, and ensuring at every step that we reach the destined landmark. A perfect visionary whose effort whose efforts despite these testing times have made it possible to hone our scientific skills. His mere presence makes us more confident in all that we strive for and ensures success and happiness to all. Thanks for always being there and gracing the occasion, sir. I now wish to thank Reverend Brother Binu, who put his additional hours and efforts that made this dream come true. No words to describe the support which was our strength. Thank you, brother. Sister Janie reminds me of the river which cuts through the wreck, not because of its power, but because of its persistence. She was the secret of cooperation, coordination, pillar of support, who helped us channelize our energies. Thank you, sister. I need to mention my deepest sense of appreciation and also extend my thanks to Sister Angel for her blessings and good wishes. Jyoti ma'am, we all wouldn't have reached where we are today if we were going alone. The ever inspiring, ever cheerful, a thorough professional who carved the way, collecting pieces, opening the doors, shaping the future, cheering everyone, enabling all blaze the journey successfully. You inspired one and all by your actions, proving time and again that conduct of the symposium was just another milestone in our success story. Thank you, ma'am. AGs never shrink from a challenge. They always they always rise to the occasion with decisive action, inspiring innovation, and remarkable determination as visible and evident in our HOD Science Renuka ma'am. Under your able guidance, this event went off quite successfully. Thank you, ma'am. A special thanks to Gargi ma'am for her wisdom and resources, working rapidly and tirelessly towards the successful completion of the Science Symposium. Although she belongs to the IT department, but she herself immersed in this event and helped in making it a success. Thank you, Gargi ma'am, for your technical support. Last but not the least, not to forget the judges, faculty members, and teachers who demonstrated incredible care and commitment in shaping such an important event. Thank you all for your support, guidance, and continued commitment in shaping the future of this country. Thank you, Didi and Bhaiya, for rendering services, facilities which helped in shaping such an important event. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you all.
With this thank you note, I would like to conclude today's competition. All the best to all of you.
Dear students, you can make an exit slowly. I request Gargi ma'am to stop the recording.